one person that wants to do public comments. Do we have any other public comments besides the one person?
Here.
Three. What subject matter, so I can divide this up appropriately?
Turnpike.
Turnpike for all three of you?
Yes.
Okay, that will fit within the time. Each of you will be granted 3 minutes. Remember, this is not a public hearing. The council will not address you. You're certainly welcome to speak. So, Marion, you were here last time. We'll let you kick it off again.
I got my notes. Okay. Good evening. I'm Marion Homemeyer. I live in Choctaw. First, I want to say this is not who I am. This is not what I like to do. I'm shaking like a leaf, and I don't like conflict. But I am compelled by what's happened and is happening and is about to happen to the people of Choctaw and the area where I live. Now, I fully understand that you're not allowed to take any official action on any of my comments tonight. But I am going to ask all of you sitting up there, if you would, by the simple act of raising your hand, indicate that you will be in attendance at the OTA meeting this Thursday night. 3, okay. Well, for those that raise your hand, thank you. For the rest of you, you certainly don't need an invitation to attend, but I'd like to personally extend the invitation to you and urge you to attend the OTA meeting this Thursday at 6 p.m. at the Eastern Oklahoma County Technology Center. As our representatives in Choctaw City government, you have an obligation to be present at that meeting. The actions you as our city council and mayor took in supporting the turnpike with no notice to, no discussion with, and no input from the citizens who elected you to your positions will have consequences for hundreds, if not thousands, of Choctaw citizens. The very least you can do now is be there for the public meeting and face those individuals that you have thrown under the bus of the Oklahoma Turnpike Authority. You owe them at least that much. The Encompass 2035 plan that was developed in 2011 and involved various Oklahoma and federal transit authorities, members of local and state government, including 2 Choctaw City Council members, the mayors of Jones and Luther, and City Council members from Hera, Jones, and Luther. In the kickoff to that meeting, a survey was taken and not a single respondent indicated that a turnpike in EOC was a top priority. The turnpike didn't even make the list. In the list, quote, planned Encompass 2035 street and highway improvements, unquote, recommended and approved. The only turnpike recommendation in the area is a gate at Hogback Road, and that was proposed for the 2026 to 2035 time frame. My question then is, given this report and approved plan, why is the turnpike now being considered? In addition, the EOC partnership, of which Mayor Ross is the chairman, was not mentioned in the Encompass Plan 2035 participants. Why is the EOC partnership being allowed to represent the people of Choctaw and their desires now when they weren't even involved in the Encompass planning? Thank you.
Thank you. Megan Heath, please.
Hello. Thanks for the opportunity to speak. You're actually the second council I've spoken to about this issue. In August of 2013, the EOC partnership approached the Eastern Oklahoma County Planning Commission, the entity responsible for the unincorporated county lands in the Choctaw and EOC area, requesting that the Planning Commission participate in the proposed study to identify a corridor that could possibly link I-40 to I-44 to encourage economic growth. The EOC partnership asked for $5,000 from the county to participate in the study. The council unanimously voted not to consider the proposal, and it was to be tabled until the next meeting. From county records, it appears it was never considered nor participated again. Again, if the turnpike loop is so vital, why did the Eastern Oklahoma County Planning Commission fail to join or support the study effort? I know you're not able to answer questions at this time, but hopefully this will be something for you to consider in the future, or when you are able to place the turnpike on the agenda. But was the study ever conducted, and if so, have you, Mayor Ross, seen the study? Was the study ever presented to the City Council of Choctaw? If your answer is no, ask then, how does the EOC know the turnpike is needed? If your answer is yes, then when was it conducted and when was it presented to the council? Where can a citizen obtain a copy of this study? Thank you.
Thank you. Kristen Wren, please.
Good evening. I appreciate the chance to speak tonight. It's my first council meeting to do so. As mayor of Choctaw, you have a responsibility and duty as mayor and as council member to work in the best interests of the citizens and the city. As chairman of the EOC partnership, whose stated objectives are for the economic growth of the EOC, is there not a conflict of interest, as the needs of the city and the citizens are more than just economic? Is there a conflict of interest? According to the city charter, section 8-14, conflict of interest, part B, the council by ordinance or personnel rules may further regulate conflict of interest and ethics of officers and employees of the city. Has this ever been addressed by the city council and determined not to be a conflict? And if so, when? Where are the records or the minutes? The city charter also states that any officer violating this section upon conviction thereof shall thereby forfeit his office. Also, if someone could point out that Mayor Ross is a lobbyist liaison at the Capitol and is also the chair of the EOC partnership and yet claims to represent the interests of the people, how is that justified? And I'd also like to mention tonight about 4:15 this evening, a Choctaw City truck was spotted picking up Stop the Turnpike signs at 29th and Choctaw Road. We can't verify if political signs or any other temporary signage was or was not picked up due to right-of-way concerns by stop signs. But if they were not, that would hamper freedom of speech, freedom of information opportunities. Thank you.
Any other public comments at this time? Seeing none, we'll move to our business agenda. Item 5.1 is the consideration of approval of resolution 16-5. It's reducing speed limits between